Welcome back to another episode of Sound Pals Go to the Movies. Today I will be reviewing the movie The Machine. So just a fair warning, there's going to be spoilers up ahead, so you've been warned. Bert's drunken past catches up to him 20 years down the road when he and his father are kidnapped by those Bert wronged 20 years ago while drunk on a college semester abroad in Russia. So let's begin with my first pro. Just because this movie is based on a stand-up comedy story that is so far-fetched but people have claimed it is real is what made this movie pop up on my radar. Also, I love stand-up comedy, and since I was familiar with the Machine story, I said, okay, let's go for it. Bert is a funny guy. Knowing there was a movie based on the story made my day. So this is not a super strong pro, but still is what got me through the door to see this movie. Next point is the cast. Super small and easy to keep track of. We have Bert as himself, Mark Hamill as his dad, and we have the Russian mob family. So yeah, we follow Bert and Mark Hamill on their forced trip to Russia, and funny shit happens. At first, Mark Hamill is just in the role as the father, but later in the movie, he does pick it up and delivers some funny jokes and some funny moments. As for Bert, he's regular Bert as he's trying to do his stand-up routine. Some of the jokes land, most of it is basically flashbacks from the Machine story, and that is what fans want to see. Next pro, we actually see Bert trying to bring in his family. It feels like it's a love letter to his daughters, trying to tell them that he's not the best dad, but at least he's trying and he's doing the best he can. So in a sense, you get that part of the movie where is the father and daughter dynamic. Also him and Mark Hamill as his dad, they share a moment too, which is also the message to his dad that he cares what his dad has done for him. It's just a movie about family dynamics from his side and also the Russian side, which also has some messed up family dynamics on their own. So now on to my cons. First, I will have to say that the stand-up story turned into movie did not work for me since they used flashbacks to tell the part of the stand-up story that I wanted to see. I will say that watching the flashbacks was the funniest part of the movie because that is what fans want to see, the story he said on stage to be on the big screen. But then after the flashbacks, we come to the present time, and this is where they try to bring up stand-up comedy elements to the movie with one-liners and one-word references that only work on stage, but they are embedded into the movie with bad delivery times. Yes, the one-liners are funny, but not when they are in the middle of a gunfight or they're in a dangerous situation. So some of the jokes, like when they drop the name of Kreischer, sorry, which is supposed to be a funny reference in the movie, it is done when they are trying to escape from the bad guys, and this made the joke get buried in between the action on the screen. So some of the jokes were hit or miss for this reason. Next con was the ending. I expected something different, but it worked, I guess, to wrap up the whole story plot. But here is what I expected since Bert had the Machine story and he was taken to Russia for the missing item, and if he didn't comply, his daughter would get hurt. For me, it would have been better if Bert gets to his daughter trying to be the superhero father, but once he arrives, he comes to discover that the Russian gangsters who are supposed to be holding his daughter captive are all passed out drunk due to the partying with his daughter, and then we see her stand up on a table over all the passed out Russian gangsters and drops the line, "I am the machine," while taking a swig of vodka. Then we can have Mark Hamill come in and says, like father, like daughter, and so it starts all over again. And by the end, you would see Bert and his daughter hugging each other, but as this camera swings around, he's actually holding her hair as she is puking her guts out. And he would say, yeah, that's it, let it all out, my little machine, and then whispering, just remember, when you tell this story, people won't believe you. So that's one way I would have ended it. I mean, it just seems that since the movie was based on a stand-up story, this was the next natural step to keep it in the family. Next con, the length of the film. It was a bit too long, almost 2 hours long, for a simple stand-up comedy routine story. I can see this being an hour and a half, but not 2 hours long. I can see some of the scenes that could be cut out. The Russian family story could shorten the film since it didn't really add much to the movie, just an old-fashioned family power struggle, and the whole premise of the movie could have been replaced with the daughter going to study abroad and getting lost in Russia, and in comes the machine to the rescue, and thus is how he would reconnect with his old friends such as Igor, and his dad tagging along saying he never believed the story of the machine, and slowly it would turn out that some facts were actually true, and eventually they would reach the daughter just to find out that she is the machine part 2. So bottom line is that this movie could have been an hour and a half and not 2 hours long. So my grade for this movie is going to be a 6.5 out of 10. Fans of Bert stand-up story The Machine will love this film, but the movie felt a bit short since it wanted to bring stand-up one-liners into the movie, which doesn't really work well, and the length of the film was a bit too long. Still, Bert and Mark did what they could, and yeah, I laughed here and there, but not as much as I did when I saw the stand-up comedy routine for the first time. So that does it for this review of The Machine. Please join us next time where we're going to review Transformers Rise of the Beast.
How big can this guy be? He eats planets. So, like, way bigger than a planet.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can find our social media links below. And like always, keep watching movies.